Welcome everybody back to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade and this is my show Only Lore, where I talk about Warhammer 40k lore. In the grimdark of the 41st millennium, there is only lore. Okay, so this is part of my timeline series. If you haven't seen any of the other timeline videos, go ahead and check them out. They're in a playlist for you there on my channel. And here we go. So we're talking about the Great Crusade. So the era that before this was the Unification Wars. Go ahead and check out the video about the Unification Wars to learn more. I'm going to catch you up, though. So Earth was a terrible post-apocalyptic Mad Max place, and they were techno-barbarians. And then the Emperor was like, hey, I'm cool. Let me put together an army called the Thunder Warriors, and we'll take over all of Earth, which they did. And he also made the Custodians. And then once they had taken over Earth and liberated it and united it, then the Custodians killed all of the Thunder Warriors. Go ahead and check out the other video to learn more. They went to Mars. They made a treaty with the Martian tech priests, which became the Treaty of Mars, which formed the Imperium. And that gave the Emperor tanks and guns and ammo and factories and starships and even more stuff. And the Empire was complete. The solar system was ready to go, and we could go about retaking all the other planets that had been lost during the Age of Strife, because now we can travel through the warp. And we have the Astronomicon as well. It's all in the other video. Go check out the other video. Okay. So, getting ready to go out into the stars, the Emperor knows that he needs armies, and he makes the Space Marines. First, he makes the Primarchs. Now, the Primarchs are made from his gene seed. Also, it comes from another perpetual named Erda, which is, there are a few perpetuals on Earth throughout time. Melchador the Sigillate is one of them. Erda is another one, and she is a perpetual, which means she can't ever die. If she dies, she just gets reborn, just like the Emperor, just like Melchador. So he uses his genetics and Erda's genetics, and they make the Primarchs. Now, here's where stuff gets a little fuzzy. So, there is hearsay that the Emperor siphoned. I'm not telling you that this is canon. I'm saying this is what gets whispered in the back corners of 40k lore. In your local game store, in the back corners, like the Diagon Alley. This is what lore smiths whisper. That he siphoned some energy from the Chaos Gods and used that energy to create the Primarchs. Whether that's true or not, I can't tell you. All I'm telling you is that's what some lore smiths say. All right. So then they make the Primarchs. The Primarchs are babies. And the intended goal was that they would travel the universe with their Space Marine legions, and that they would reunite all of the human worlds, and that they would kill any Xenos that they found, or cosmic horrors, or whatever. I made my image smaller so you can see the Primarchs when they come up on the screen. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm tiny. Erda found out this, and what she felt was that this was dooming her sons to a lifetime of strife and war, and she was very concerned, as a mother would be, that this was going to be really unhealthy for her sons. So, Erda did something. Wavy question marks. Some people say that she, with the powers of chaos, opened a portal and sucked all of her babies away, scattering them throughout the galaxy. Now, I'm not here to tell you that that is 1000% true. That is what some lore smiths say. Other lore smiths just say, something happened. And they don't give much of an explanation. I'm at least giving you what some people say, as opposed to just question marks. All right. So, point is, the Primarchs get lost. Well, all of this comes from the Emperor's gene seed and Erda, her genetics as well, because they needed a mother. So the Emperor has all that. So he's able to make the first founding. He's able to make the first legions of Space Marines. Once again, there were originally 20 legions of Space Marines. We only have 18 to this day. 9 traitors, 9 loyalists. And since then, several of them have died and several of them are lost. And like right now, we only have Lionel Johnson and Rabute Gilliman. There are several of the Chaos Primarchs that are around. You have Angron, you have Magnus, you have Fulgrim, just got a new miniature. So keep that in mind. And of course, Horus Lupercal has been erased from existence. Vulcan was incinerated, but Vulcan's also a perpetual, so Vulcan's coming back, baby. And I can't wait. I'm so ready for Vulcan to come back. Anyways, I'll get into it. So, the Emperor takes the Space Marine legions, and he sets off into the stars. His War Master is the Primarch of the Luna Wolves, was their legion, and his name is Horus Lupercal. And he's in charge at any point in time where the Emperor is not there giving commands. Horus speaks for the Emperor. All right. So they set off into the stars. They conquer. They do a ton of good stuff, and they reunite the planets. Now, when I say good stuff, when they roll up to your world, if your world doesn't immediately bend the knee, they give you like some legions give you like a second chance to like, hey, you messed up, Aaron. Some legions just descend upon you and start wiping you out. It just depends. So there was different responses. They went about it in different ways. In some planets, they would like just kill them a little bit and then see if they would change their mind. Some planets, they killed them a lot of bit. And some worlds were wiped out. Some worlds were forced into rejoining the Imperium, and some worlds welcomed them with open arms and came back into the Imperium. Now, all worlds who rejoined the Imperium were forced to give what's called the Imperial Tithe, which is between 5 to 25% of your resources. That includes people. So the people that are given in the Imperial Tithe go into the Imperial Guard. You're in the Guard, son. I'm a Guard player, been a Guard player for many, many years. I play Necron's Tyrannid's Guard in Imperial Knights. Now, this is where we get the Imperial Guard. This is where we get the Space Marines. And for a long time, this is what's going on. That's why it's the Great Crusade. It's going everywhere, using the warp, navigating through the warp with the Astronomicon, and the Emperor's leading the charge. At a certain point in time, basically most of the work gets done. I'm not going to say every planet, because, you show up and there's a planet and they're completely all dead, or you show up and the planet's just gone. It's not there anymore. All sorts of wackiness happens in 40K. So I'm going to say most of the Imperium gets reconciled back to the Empire. And when everything looks like it's like 90% in hand, that's when the Emperor's like, cool. He tags in Horus. He's like, cool, you got this, bro. Finish up the job. I'm going to go back to Earth, and I'm going to finish my next project, which was the Webway. Is the Webway Gate. So that's tapping into the resource that the Eldar have that was created by the old ones, and it's a way to traverse the universe without going into the warp. So it's going to cut the warp out of the equation, and we're not going to need the warp anymore. Geller fields, what are those? We don't need Geller fields. So he goes back to Earth to work on the Webway project. And leaves Horus Lupercal in charge of finishing the Great Crusade. So all the Primarchs have been found. They've been reunited with their legions. They are bringing all human worlds back into the fold. And then they're panning out to finish off Xenos worlds, because Xenos are dirty scum. So I'm not a Space Marine player, by the way. I'm just feeding into the Imperial dogma. If I ever did play Space Marines, though, I'd play Ultramarines. But that's what's going on during the Great Crusade. However, little did they know that just around the corner is the Horus Heresy, and I look forward to explaining that to you in great detail. These videos are 10 minutes. If you have any questions about the Age of Strife, or the Dark Age of Technology, or the Old Knight, or the War in Heaven, go ahead and check out the other videos on the list. I think they're pretty cool. We here at the Dragon's Lair want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.